This question gives us this equation on this graph, this exponential equation, and says which equation is true, right? Which is the right equation for this graph. Now, my students hate this question. They hate exponential functions. So let's not think about it as, oh, what's the right equation that works? We don't know, right? No idea. So instead, let's go back to our tried and true method of when they give you a bunch of equations and says which one is true based on this graph or based on this chart, let's just pick numbers off of it, pick points and plug it into the equation and see which equation is true. So let's start with, let's start with 0, -1. And let me just plug that point into each of these equations and see which one is true. So when x is 0, 2 to the x, 2 to the 0, remember 2 to a 0, any number to a 0 power is 1. So we've got 2 to the 0 plus 2, so that's going to be 1 plus 2 is 3. And this is supposed to be equal to -1, right? That's the y value. -1 not equal to 3, so therefore this equation doesn't work. Let's try the next one. 2 to the 0 plus 1 is going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2, which is not equal to -1, which is our y value here. So this one doesn't work. Let's try the third one. Okay, so 2 to the 0 minus 1, that's going to be 1 minus 1, which is 0, which is not equal to -1. So this one doesn't work. I hope this last one works. Let's try it. So 2 to the 0 minus 2, so that's going to be 1 minus 2, which is equal to -1. And that is equal, obviously, so the -1 is equal to the -1. This equation works. It's the only one that works with that point. So answer D is the right choice. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is when they give you a bunch of equations in the answer choices and say, and ask which equation is true, just pick up a point off the chart or the graph, plug it in to each of the equations, see which one works. You have to plug it into every equation, every answer choice. You can't just stop at one because often more than one answer choice will be right. If more than one answer choice is right, then you just pick a second point on the graph and plug it into those two and see which one is right.